Hi folks, I'm Misty Reed. I'm a reproductive acupuncturist serving the wonderful community of Austin and Central Texas. I'm the owner of Austin Acupuncture Studio as well as Conceivable Coach. And since 2010, I've had the good fortune of helping many people with painful periods or dysmenorrhea, and that's what I want to talk to y'all about today. So many of my patients come to me after trying all sorts of other options to get some relief. And let's face it, if you are having painful periods and you are to the point where you are stuck in bed, missing days of work, you need a heating pad for a day or two to get any relief, you're popping pain meds, you're looking for the end of Netflix, all of these things while missing out on life, whether it be work or time with family or friends, stinks, right? It is just not okay. And this can also really lead to you dreading your period coming every month, right? So during this process, if you're experiencing painful periods, you might have noticed that your quality of life has degraded during the days of your period. You may notice that your work performance just isn't where it usually is the rest of the month because you're too tired or you can't focus. Maybe you're not as present with your family and friends. Maybe you just don't have the energy for the things that you like to do, whether it be working out, doing things after work. And sometimes you maybe have to cancel plans with coworkers, with friends, family, everyone, right? Just because you're not feeling up to it when you're on your period. And when the pain is at its worst, maybe you're experiencing nausea, vomiting, maybe it's interrupting your sleep because it's waking you up at night. Could even be having irregular, unpredictable bowel movements. I see that a lot with painful periods too. So if you can relate to any of this, I'd like to share 3 things with you that can help improve the quality of your periods, okay? And help get rid of some of that pain. So first of all, tip 1, exercise. So I know you've probably heard this before, but let me explain to you why exercise is so important and how it can help with your painful periods. Because I do feel like when my patients know the why, they're more likely to stick with it, okay? So exercise, it's worth bringing up because it is so effective, and consistent exercise does a couple things, right? So consistent exercise is going to help lower stress levels, and whenever stress is lower, it takes our body out of fight or flight, which allows blood flow to improve to the pelvis, right? And this allows a more cohesive uterine lining to form during your menstrual cycle, right? So that's pretty important, right? If you're having a better quality uterine lining, then it's going to be easier to pass when you get to your period, okay? So consistent exercise throughout your whole cycle will help go ahead and lower stress, but that will also improve blood flow to your pelvis, thereby decreasing your painful periods. So that's one way to use exercise, is preventatively, right? However, if you're already in the middle of a period and it is painful, sometimes working out during your period can help with the pain, and that's because it can go ahead and help increase blood flow to the area, to your pelvis, to your uterus specifically, right? And so whenever that happens, you're going to go ahead and have a little bit of pain relief too. So you can use exercise during a painful period to go ahead and help increase blood flow, to help make it easier for your body to pass that uterine lining. However, you can also go ahead and use it consistently throughout the month to help form a more cohesive, better quality uterine lining during the month, and thereby it'll be easier to shed that when it is time for your period. So that's tip 1, exercise, okay? Tip 2, avoid caffeine the week leading up to your period. If you can avoid caffeine all month, great. But that may not be something that you're interested in or something that you're able to do. So caffeine feeds inflammation, and it also decreases blood flow to the pelvis, right? That's why they said exercise is important. Same with avoiding caffeine. If caffeine is going to decrease blood flow to the pelvis, it's going to go ahead and feed inflammation and also make it harder for you to shed your uterine lining whenever your period does come, okay? So that's something else you can do. So if you have like a normal, let's say 28-day cycle, I usually recommend avoiding caffeine starting around day 21. And again, this is for folks that have a painful period and we're trying to diminish that pain. So those are the first 2 tips. Tip 3, come in for your first acupuncture session with me. Painful periods are something that I treat a lot at the clinic. People frequently come to me for something else, maybe for fertility, irregular cycles, headaches, migraines, stress, anxiety, all sorts of other things may bring them in. But then when we're doing the consult and I discover they have painful periods, that is definitely something that I want to go ahead and treat. It's usually a sign that there's some things that are out of balance that we need to go ahead and fix. So my approach to fixing a painful period includes a combination of acupuncture, supplements, we may use herbs, dietary recommendations, lifestyle modifications, a whole bunch of things. And I do that because I found that using these multiple areas or modalities, as you could say, is by far the best way to go ahead and help my patients get relief, right? Because I'm worried about going ahead and helping you get relief from painful periods that maybe you're currently experiencing, or maybe the one that you might have next cycle. But then I also want to teach you some tools to prevent those painful periods from coming back every month, okay? So my approach is very different from what's out there because I look at the big picture of your health to determine the deficiencies or the excesses that are actually causing the painful periods. And part of my work with people is I would also give you a treatment plan that goes ahead and focuses on fixing those deficiencies or excesses. And acupuncture is just one of the tools that I'm going to use to help you with that. So in a nutshell, my first 2 tips are exercise and avoiding caffeine that week before your period. Tip number 3 is come see me for acupuncture at the Austin Acupuncture Studio. Again, I serve the Austin and Central Texas area, and you can go ahead and schedule an acupuncture appointment, or if you have more questions for me, go schedule a free Q&A session on my website. And my website is austinacupuncturestudio.com, and I'll put that in the notes below too. We can get you scheduled right away to get you on the road to healing and go ahead and recovering from these painful periods, because that really is not something that you should have to deal with every month, in my opinion. So feel free to share this video with family, friends, or anyone that's struggling with painful periods, and go check out my website if you want to go ahead and book a free Q&A phone call, or if you are ready to go ahead and come on in, go ahead and book a consult in your first acupuncture session. Take care, and I hope you are well.